thank you for coming and adding your prayer. But above all, we're privileged to have Hannah here with us so she can see and experience the prayer, the very prayer that we have learned from the synagogue, from the Jewish community. And as we also proclaim the Old Testament, the book of Genesis as regards Abraham and his son Isaac, and then the Psalms as well, and then here in the Gospel. So thank you for joining us and knowing how the Old and New Testament create a unity that is inseparable, so that one illumines the other and the other one brings out what the other one brings about as well. So we are both enriched by both Testaments, New and Old. We take up the book of Genesis in the Old Testament, and we see when Isaac was growing, that when Isaac was born to him, to Abraham, all this, what is happening also in companion with, or in company with Hagar, and Ishmael. So all that is also our history as well, and we try to learn the lessons of a provident God who is leading his people along the way. And so we learn so much from it that we consider this very sacred and holy. And as you heard in the first reading, how God heard the cry of the poor and hears, and above all, with Pope Francis today remind us, the poor are crying, the earth is crying, the poor, right? And the Lord hears the cry of all. So what a beautiful lesson we can learn from each other if we continually hear the cry of the poor. And of course, in this case of the gospel, the two who were possessed by the demons, that how the Lord heard their cry for help, and we see in a very poignant way how the casting out of their devils, and then how it's taken into the herd of swine and drowned in the sea. So let us then continue with the Eucharist, learning the lessons of history, learning how God continually, providentially keeps guiding all his people. So the Old Testament continues, God's providence guiding it. New Testament is the very same provident hand of God that is leading all of us. So let us then continue with the Eucharist.